Good day. It's Brother Jose. I'm just testing out my sound to see if you can hear me. Let me just play this quickly.
Me no want no friction, me want no conversation. Every man for himself in a this wicked nation. Walk with me shadow, me heart in a me hand. Try build a wall in a this desert land. Walk with me shadow, me heart in a me hand. Try build a wall in a this desert land. You see the signal, you see the red light. Don't step closer, better hold your lane tight. Space is a luxury, peace is a prize. I see the hunger reflect in your eyes. Leave me the fuck alone. Leave me the fuck alone. Don't call me phone, don't enter the zone. Don't call me phone, don't enter the zone. Leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah. This is your boy, Brother Jose. Are you hearing me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
System heavy on me head like a lead weight. Locked in a silence, me destiny me create. No entry sign pon the gate of me mind. Leave all the noise and the madness behind. Pressure burst pipe, now the steam is a rise. Watch how me fire start burning on me eyes. Pressure burst pipe, now the steam is a rise. Watch how me fire start burning on me eyes. Boundary set and the line is now drawn. Don't wait for daylight, just gone with the dawn. Leave me the fuck alone. Leave me the fuck alone. Don't call me phone, don't enter the zone. Don't call me phone, don't enter the zone. Leave me the fuck alone. Push. Can you hear the walls closing? Don't make me lose my head. Get back! Get back! Leave me the fuck alone!
Yeah, if you guys can hear me, let me know. If you can hear me, let me know. If you can hear me, let me know. You can hear me, let me know. If you can hear me, let me know. If you can't hear me, hear me, let me know. I'm gonna film my own video. I'm gonna be filming my own video.
If you black, come with your little whole world.
And check out a couple of shorts that I
post it. So here it goes.
From the mountains to the screen, keeping the legacy clean.
If you guys can hear me, let me know. If anybody can hear me, let me know.
Lineage moving like fire through the world. Illusions while the nation is asleep. Not anymore.
If you can hear me, let me know. Something specific thing I want to see. I hope some reason they have a best.
But I want to knock him down a couple notches with this debate. I want to. I'm not backing out of this. The man is a great
Well, let me
debater,
say
and I'm
something
gonna
real
put
quick.
that in there. We can deal with that and say,
Eventually gets exposed beneath the light. That's why I sleep peacefully when I close my eyes at night. The truth don't need an army.
show you that here, what it is. If you incorporate this into a segment,
If you can hear me, let me know. Ah. Woo! Even though. So you hear me?
And skill.
What's up, Louis?
What's up, family?
Do you hear me?
How's
Did you see this presentation? If you can hear me, let me know. This was really supposed to be a test, but so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back. This is Virgin Frontier Bomb Squad. I shake. I'm going to go ahead, copy the link address, put it in here. You guys could go ahead and subscribe to the new Virgin Frontier. This is Ashay's page. Go on ahead and subscribe to it. Are you guys hearing me at all? If you guys are hearing me, let me know. Go ahead and play this video. This is Bomb Squad Ashay. I think this is the same video. Maybe not, I don't know. So if you did, talking about Thunder and Barry Thunder, that's how I think he said. So this is the same video. I'm going to put it up again. I'm going to unshare. Unshare that. so much to put this post this is saved again. No matter that anything about the beat comes on, that's not the getting in. Just the hook that you get, right? So here we go.
Deities. We see Anat or Anath, who comes out of the Baal Psyche when the Canaanite pantheon. We see her turn into an actual Neter, right? And we also, and you just can't forget the connection between these 11 people, and that's the quote unquote Jew connection, the Jewish connection, because you got this group of Jews who's the Elephantine, right? Who they're coming out of that same area, and they have those Canaanite deities because the Hebrews are birthed in Canaan anyways. So they coming in and they bringing their deities with them as well within their Elephantine temple. You see them worshiping a knot. You see them mixing it up with Yahoo and a couple more of those more north of these Canaanite deities. So there's definitely a connection there all day long, far as Canaan and Kemet. Now, when you get to dealing with Mesopotamia, you're dealing with a whole other culture. That's just a whole other culture in itself. Those people don't even look like each other. You couldn't even pass a Mesopotamian off for a goddamn for a Kemetic person. You can't pass that off. But you did have certain intermixing with the Levantine people and the Kemetic people, where you could see a Levantine, I guess, maybe pass as a Cometian, or vice versa. Yeah, I mean, if you even look on Hezekiah's seal, you're going to see, and he's in Levant, he's in Judah. You're going to see Kemetic things all on this stuff. You're going to see the Ankh. You're going to see the Bayadette on that joint. You know what I mean? So look out for that connection between that Kemet Canaan connection, because Kemet ruled Canaan for the majority of Kemet's stronghold time as their time as a superpower. They ruled Canaan. I'll land with that. Thank you.
That's correct. And that's why, that's the whole purpose why I say Mesopotamia needs to have a pinpoint on it, because when you trying to historically talk about things that are within that geographical umbrella, you need to say Akkad, you need to say Assyria, not just Mesopotamia.
And that's super
when
big.
we get into Mesopotamia, that's what we're gonna be all up in there once we get into that. I want to ask you, because this is just one of my hypotheses. Like I said, I'll be looking at the geography, and that's why this one called this slide. It's called location. The Mediterranean Sea right up in here, Anatolia, and all of this. Do you think that was too big for them to be mixing?
No, the Anatolians actually shoot for the Syrian steppes. That's their migration. They migrate to the Syrian steppes, go come down and create these Canaanite people. Like, that's part of it. That's part. I mean, you can track the language that way, at least, right? Semitic languages start far up north, dealing with the Proto-Semitic languages, and they are very far up north, right? They trickle into Mesopotamia. Then that's why what Tahuti just said was so important, because when you look at Akkad, and stuff like that, you're looking at that Semitic language dispersal, where they coming with that Semitic language. Understand that Sumeria was not Semitic. They wasn't Semitic. They actually were what King J used the term. They were a language isolate.
Isolate.
Yes. And so you're gonna see the flip, where in like Akkad and stuff, you go see, and these are different time periods as well. You're gonna see Enlil, and you're gonna see his prefix in. That's a Sumerian prefix. That's that Sumerian prefix, and that denote Lord. But when you see it step into like Akkad in the language shifts, you see Enlil turns into El-Lil. Now you familiar with that El within the Semitic language. Ainana, Sumerian, turns into Ishtar. You know that Ish, that's that Semitic. You get what I'm saying? So you're going to see these shifts. Enki, Sumerian. Oh, I got to take this call. Give me a second.
So basically, we're gonna see the shift in languages first. I think that's might be what he was pointing out. Looked like he went on mute for a second.
Yeah, he coughed facts. Yeah, we're gonna see a shift in languages, a shift and this is again where that Semitic thing is very important with that Semitic language, because when dealing with the Hebrews, they attribute these languages to people. And so they say that Semitic language, some people call it the Shemitic language, and they'll say this comes from a man by the name of Shem, going back to the Bible. But when we go to the history, we see that, just like you got it pulled up, Brother Quantum, we ain't dealing with no people here. We're dealing with tribal migration.
Yeah, Tahuti, you hear me? You can hear me at all? You can hear me, bro? You can hear me? You can hear me, Tahuti? If you can hear me, let me know.
We're dealing with cultural mixing. That's why I can't disagree with you, Brother Quantum, when you say, oh, well, is it possible these people was mixing with these people and these people? Yeah, but when we're dealing with that, now we got to deal with time period. You see what I'm saying? When did this take place? And then when we deal when the certain things take place, now everything becomes clear. We got Brother Gideon to the stage. What's up, Gideon?
If you trying to talk, you
Brother
might be on
Gideon, you
mute.
there? You might be on mute, Gideon, if you're saying something. I do it a lot. You might can't hear none of us.
Yeah, you might can't hear it.
Oh yeah, he just left, so he probably could hear us. We couldn't hear him, so I'm sure he'll be back. But yeah, man, and that's what I'm doing, Humble. I'm trying to weed out all the possibilities. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say and I think you do understand it. Like you said a while ago, you wasn't picking on me in that. This when I go through this, I know the biblical history of this certain area right here. I do. That's all in the Bible. All this area, all in the Bible. So once I get to the conscious community today and what we talking about, once we get to trying to connect Africa with this part right here that we are, and then this coming into view now with another religion that's saying, oh, we could be these people. I really want to weed them out and get a possibility, because like I said, for me, now that I'm this age, it now feels unfair that they never taught us anything about the prehistoric times of these areas. Because when we get it in the Bible, like you said, they give us names and stuff, and they point out the geographical setting that it might be, but some of the stories just don't match. Some of the times don't match. You know what I'm saying? And so I understand your concerns and questions about it also. So that's why I just, like I say, I continue my search in this fashion, because I think once I go through the time period right there of Kemet, then we jump over here to this part of the area at the Tigris and the Euphrates, see if it circle all the way back around. By the time we get to the dynasties of failing within Egypt, I want to see what was going on over here, where they was failing or succeeding at. And I think we'll be able to see if they close enough and that they can actually make a claim that the history that we get in the Bible of Egypt actually coincides with modern history. It's a hard claim, and I know y'all concerns about it. Like I said, I just want everybody to know that mine is a genuine search.
Nice. I just want to point out that if you can during this show or on your own time, look up and do some research on the origins of Sumer, and you'll find that they're not really sure. But like I said earlier, they'll come back and say, "Oh, we got this Mesopotamian DNA."
Where are their origins?
Even though I know you're gonna argue about it because you have before. So the Africana scholars have a theory that the origins of Sumer are from Africans who migrated out of the Nile into Canaan and then down into the area and formulated Sumer. You have the Terraneta tile. Check Antijote introduces the Terraneta tile, and on the Terraneta tile it says Anu on it. So with that, you have a parallel with the Anu being identified in pre-dynastic and early dynastic Kemet, and then preceding that, you have Anu as a sky deity in Sumer. And then there's a lot of other parallels that I brought up on, other episodes. But that's the theory based on Africana studies, is that the early people of Mesopotamia were a mix between Dravidians and Cushites.
Yeah.
So wait. So my bad. Humble, real quick. So the mechanism I'm talking about, these people coming down to here, won't that still suffice with these people going up there and maybe having an actual reason to come back through here?
As far as migration, as far as the question you're asking, I think you're generally, in the ballpark. But you have,
okay.
If
right.
Kemet is the first, thriving. Yeah, go ahead.
My bad, because I don't never say it that way. I always talk about Kemet mixing with Mesopotamia. I mean, Mesopotamia mixing with Kemet, but I actually mean the other way too. I believe all of these people was dealings, and that's what gave these people at some point time to come down here, or these people at some point time to come up over in here. And that's my hypothesis. So when I do say that, that's exactly what I mean, to Hootie, just in case it ain't been clear. I mean the interaction, whichever way it may go, for whatever reason.
Right. But go ahead, man,
Go
sir.
ahead.
Please, I think you was going to say something.
My bad.
No,
I thought that was humble. Go ahead, man.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to add that it seems because what Ashe said earlier was that the people of Sumer, they didn't have a not Sumerian, they didn't have a
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Cozy? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I forgot what language he said. Semitic language. It was completely different than theirs, and so it seems like when they what Tahuti was pointing out, that you get, the people if they migrating out of Africa over to the east and down there, and it was a mixture. He said it was a mixture. Yeah, I read that too. I think Diop talks about that. So it just seems like, yeah. I mean, yeah. We talk about people. Of course, I think I don't understand why it's too hard. It's hard to understand for people that these people did mingle and mix with each other. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're in the same area. You know what I'm saying? So you're doing trading with each other. And mingle and mixing. They dating. They see some girl. Hey, man, I mean, come on. The same stuff that we do today, basically, on the same stuff, on the same level. So yeah, you see the mingle and mixture going on from back then. like I think one of the things that only when you said that we don't talk about, you don't see them talk about the pre-dynastic areas too much, is because I don't think I think like we talk about pre-dynastic, you don't have too many of the Europeans. Well, the Europeans wasn't even around back then. We talk about 10,000 BC and 20,000 BC. You know, these Asian people, these Euro-Asian people wasn't even in existence back then. It was just colored people, everybody, not one color, but, basically melanated people, from what I understand. But yeah, I don't understand why it's like a big deal to understand the mixture of people and stuff, and what I'm saying, the deities, of course they're going to mix, I'm saying, especially you grew up.
City, maybe states start to rebel, and now you got to make an example, deport the population. And also another thing they did was two-way deportation, where they would deport the population from this area and introduce a different population into that area, right? So it turned the Near East into a huge melting pot of people from all different types of ethnicities, all different types of social, religious, social, cultural dynamics. And that did a lot. That did a lot. And it started what I call a history of ethnic confusion. Now, when you look in the Bible, and this is why I talk about this identity crisis